Oh shit. Okay. Hey guys, it's Courtney. I literally don't match. My headband does not match, so I feel a little weird. But honestly, I don't really give a fuck right now. I wasn't taking the time to find a headband that matches this. I have one. It's got pink and blue stars all over it, but that's not the point I'm making. I gotta talk about this. This drama that's going on right now matches what I like to speak about on my channel perfectly. And I'm going to go ahead and say right now, everything I say today in this video is allegedly. Nothing is proven, nothing is 100%. I don't know that this happened. I believe it, but it's up to you to decide whether you believe it or not. So everything I speak on today is allegedly. That's the word of the day, people. Allegedly. So, number one, I noticed that Jacqueline Glen is getting a lot of hate for her video. Last night, whenever I checked it, it was like right after she posted it though, so it was like 1.9k likes and like 1.7k dislikes. So a lot of people were pretty pissed about it, and I know why. It's because she spoke negatively about a Shane video. So obviously all his stans are going to dislike it. That's understandable. But I hope that you all kind of got her message. Her message was not to say that Shane did something wrong or that Shane was the one trying to portray that everything's okay and glossed over. We all know that there was a lawyer standing by the whole time they talked. So obviously there was a lawyer for a reason. It wasn't tell-all, or there wouldn't have needed to be a lawyer there. And her mom was there. Her mother was looming over her, somewhere in the background. And you could just tell when he asked about her mother how uncomfortable. She's here somewhere. She spends a lot of time here with me. You can tell she was just so uncomfortable, in her own skin. And, as I said, I don't believe that Jacqueline's, point was to say anything bad about Shane. This is not about Shane, it's about Eugenia, and the fact that, yes, she looks beautiful. I know that Katie Morton said that you shouldn't say that to somebody, but honestly, I think positive reinforcement is a good thing. When you're in recovery of any sort, you guys know that I'm in recovery. I have had eating, I'm not going to say ED, but I've had eating issues myself. I now starve myself all the time, and I don't even mean to. It's my medication. I just am not hungry ever, but then I still gain weight from my Neurontin, or gabapentin. So, oh, and I'm still making that video, but this video, like, this is one of those videos where, like, I have to say it. It's driving me nuts. Like, I've been thinking about it since last night, and so today we went and got ice cream with the baby and everything else, and, you know, so I have shut myself in the bathroom. There's no air conditioning in here. Obviously the door's shut, so the air can't get in here. So I'm sweating like a pig, guys. You have to excuse that. I would leave the door open, but my husband's in the next room gaming, and y'all know how he sounds in the background when he's gaming. So, anyways, so yeah. Point number one is that Jacqueline's getting a lot of hate, but it's for the wrong reason, because Jacqueline's point was not to say anything bad about Shane. Shane could only do so much. Shane was trying to portray this lovely recovery story, and it is lovely from the outside. But once you see the alleged reasoning for things, it starts to make the pieces just start to fall together. Which gets me to point number two. So Jacqueline spoke about how her mother controls her whole life. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Eugenia Cooney is the girl that had a really bad eating disorder. Everybody was just basically waiting for her to pass away. She got a lot of hate. It was really sad to watch, because I would never hate somebody that already hates themselves clearly so much. And not hates themselves, but is already punishing themselves enough by hurting themselves. She doesn't need stomped while she's already on the ground, I feel. So she went and got help, she's now back, and Shane Dawson did like a coming back video, like, I'm doing so great, I, went to inpatient, and, like, it was great, everything's good, blah, 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 but they didn't really, she talked to him, but she didn't say anything. It was an hour-long video, and I got nothing out of it. And I know why that was. Because her mother allegedly controls everything she does. So she wasn't allowed to say how she really feels. That girl can't talk about how she really feels. She has to dance around every subject in order to keep mommy happy. I don't know if she's a narcissistic parent. I don't know. It kind of sounds like that, but I am not a doctor in any way, so I'm not going to diagnose anybody. But from what I understand, and from what I've gathered, and from the pieces that I've put together, my assumption, and I wouldn't usually assume, but it's just bothering me, things are making a lot more sense now after watching Jacqueline Glen's video. So I'm so, like, irritated right now, I can't even speak. So if you guys also go watch Jacqueline Glen's video, because she speaks about how Shane's video was beautiful, and it was a beautiful story, but that's all it was. It was a story. That's not what really happened. Eugenia really tried to make her look like a bully. She said the friends that she had didn't care until they cared too much, and then they bullied her into getting help. And that's pretty unfair, but I'll get to that in a minute. The point that I'm trying to make right now, my brain is so scattered right now because there's so many things I want to say. I'm trying to, like, put them on top of each other, and, like, I just need to speak point by point. So this point is that I get it now with Jacqueline's video. I get why Eugenia is doing what she's doing to herself. And I'm not a mind reader, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not any of that stuff. But this is what makes sense to me. When you have somebody that controls everything in your life, apparently, or, supposedly, whatever you want to, allegedly, her mom, scans her phone calls. Her mother only lets her hang out when she will agree to it. She scans her text messages. I think probably even her, she probably even controls her internet stuff, her pages, and she controls everything the girl does. So she feels like she has no power over her whole life, or over her own life. And when you feel like you have no power over your own life, what is one thing that you can do to gain power back or have control over? Food. You control what you put in your mouth. You control how much you lose, how much you gain. That's the one little bit of control that she has in her own life. Her mother holds all the control. And she has this little thing, this little secret power that she holds on to. And it's her relationship with food. Because that's the one thing that nobody can control or make her do or make her not do. I guess they could force feed her, but I don't think that's going to happen. Honestly, I think it's now to the point where they know that her medical issues is making them more money because of the shock value, because allegedly her mother threw a fit. You guys will have to watch Jacqueline's video, because apparently what happened was the cops kept saying that they couldn't do anything about it because she said she was fine, she didn't want help. What?
What are you talking about?
I'm making a video.
I know that. You sound very, into it.
Yeah, I am. It's a very crazy, I'll tell you later. So he's He said, "You sound really into it." I am really into it. So what happened is her mother didn't want her to get help. So they were not supportive of Jacqueline and her boyfriend, and I don't know the other girl's name, but them trying to get her help. So she called the cops on him. The cops said, "Oh yeah, that YouTube girl, we can't do anything about it because she said she's fine. We can't take her out of her home." But then the mental health people, she would call them, and there's nothing that they can do because by law they can't enter her house without her permission and take her anywhere. And she seemed mentally sound enough because she has a script. She's told what to say when the cops come to the house. She's told what to say when, mental health advocates come to the house. She knows what to say to get them to walk away feeling like, oh, well, she's okay. Of course, the mental health advocates probably know that she's not okay, but there's nothing legally that they can do. So, what do they do? The only thing that Jacqueline was able to do, they said that if she could get her out of the house and with her into her apartment, she could call and do a 5150 on her. And Jacqueline could be the one to let them into the apartment. So she had to lie to her. She had to lie to her and tell her that they were going to an escape room. And it took months of planning for her mother to actually let her go anywhere. It took a long time for them to put this together. And I guess when her mother found out what was going on, that they had done a 5150 on her, she didn't want to go. She was refusing. But if you do a 5150, a hold is mandatory. They will hold you for a certain amount of time and see what they think. I think it's like 72-hour hold. If they think you're fine, they'll let you go. If you decide that you do want the help, you can stay. Or if you're like really mentally unstable, they can keep you if you're a danger to yourself or anybody else. So, she had to lie to her friend to get her to her house so that she could do this 5150 on her. And apparently, sorry guys, I'm sweating. It is so hot in here, but I gotta get this out. So apparently, Eugenia called the cops on Jacqueline as well and told the cops that Jacqueline had kidnapped her. So the cops came and were going to arrest Jacqueline as well because Eugenia said that she didn't understand why they were doing this to her, and she was so hurt and she didn't understand, and why didn't they just come to her, and why couldn't they just talk to her, but they did. And like any addict or anybody with a disorder or anything, you don't see how badly you need help. You're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, why are you guys worried? Because I felt the same way whenever I was on dope and Xanax and everything else. I was like, there's people that are so much worse than me. Which, dude, I was doing like something that was almost guaranteed death. I was mixing heroin and Xanax, which is so deadly. A lethal combination. I don't know how I made it through doing it for 2 years. But apparently I was supposed to be here for some reason, and now I know why, but back then I was like, why am I not dying? But anyways, I can understand that feeling in the moment of why would you do this to me? You feel so betrayed because, obviously there was a time where that happened to me. Somebody, got concerned enough about me that they, told my parents what were going on and this and that. It was my brother. At the time, I felt so hurt and so betrayed, and I was like, wait a minute, you do drugs with me. Like, who are you, like, to say anything? And, like, I just felt so betrayed. But now today, now that I've also had to be the person to make that decision between, being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being selfish, really. There's a different, you have to make the decision whether you want to be selfish and keep the person with you and keep that friendship and watch them die, or you can make the choice to lose that friendship because, sometimes that happens. Sometimes they're so hurt that they don't want to be around you anymore, ever again. Sometimes they don't forgive you. But you have to make that decision between life and death. Keeping them with you and them possibly dying, or giving them the gift of life but sacrificing your friendship. And that is what Jacqueline did, was sacrifice her friendship. And that is like the ultimate, the most selfless thing that she could have done, was do that for her friend, because she didn't want to watch her die. Her own mother was mad that her friends did a oh my god, what's it called? Oh my god, I can't think right now because I'm just so like, ooh, it's like so irritating, because I've been in this situation. I've been on both sides of the situation, so I can understand both sides, because I've been in both places, so I can understand each side's frustration. But I definitely have to side with Jacqueline on this, because she gave her friend the greatest gift of all, and that's the gift of life. Because had she just sat back and watched like everybody else, like her own family was doing, they wouldn't have had their little money maker within a year. Probably the money would have ran out within a year, because she'd be gone. But I'm sure that they probably have lots of insurance on her. Bet you they have millions of dollars in health or in life insurance on her. And that's allegedly, I don't know that for sure, but it just seems like they were keeping her sick for their own sick reasons, for the most selfish reasons there is, because she was a freak show to some people. So people were subscribing just to be disgusted by every video that she uploaded, just to dislike every video that she uploaded, just to go in the comments and say mean things. And her mother felt good about leaving her own daughter in that situation. That is fucking sick, bitch. I know that her mother will never watch this, but if she ever did for some reason, you're a sick motherfucker. Bet. You need help too. Your whole family probably needs help. I'm a mother, and I would do anything to make sure that my kids are in the best situation possible. I would sacrifice anything. Money especially. If money means that much to you, that you would let your child waste away in front of you, then you are not a mother. You do not deserve to be called mother. And this is all allegedly. But like I said earlier, all makes sense. It makes perfect sense if that's what's going on. Because like I said, if her mother's that controlling and controls everything that's going on and wants to keep her sick and this and that, that's all Eugenia has control over in her life is, doing her makeup, doing her hair, making videos, and what her body looks like. What her body looks like, that's the control that she has. Other than that, she has nothing. She has nothing to control. Her mother does it all for her. Apparently, she has a driver that makes sure she goes to where she's supposed to for as long as she's supposed to, and then comes and gets her and takes her back home. There's no veering off the path for her. Every move that she makes is okayed by her mother. So her sickness makes a lot more sense to me now. And like I said, with Jacqueline, whenever I get stressed out, like you can see my lips are so shiny already, but whenever I get stressed out, I don't know why, but I just reapply my lip gloss. It's the weirdest thing. Does anybody else do that? When you get stressed out or agitated, do you apply your lip gloss a lot? Or I clean sometimes when I get really irritated? What do you guys do? But anyways, so yeah, the last thing I'm gonna say about it is that I know that Jacqueline Glen will never see this video. But if for some reason she ever did, do not ever question if you did the right thing or if you made the right decision. Don't ever question whether you did something wrong, because you didn't. You gave that girl the gift of life, because nobody else was going to do that for her.
Come on,
You were the
man,
only
come
person in
on.
her life that cared enough to get her help. So, years and years and years from now, when she's hopefully out from under her mother and her mother no longer has control of her, she will appreciate how much you went through to get her the help that she so desperately needed. Um, One day she will understand why you did what you did. Because I understand now why my brother did what he did. Now that I was the person that had it done to me, and I was the person that had to do it to somebody else. Now I get exactly why he did it to me, and I get why you did it to her, or why I did it to the person that I did it to, because you care so much that you can be selfless. Some people can't do that, so that's awesome. Some people can't not be selfish. So anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm done rambling. It's been 20 minutes, so I really gotta, I could stand here and ramble about this for hours and hours and hours, because it's just so irritating. Like, what a terrible situation. And like I said, it's not Shane's fault. He's only allowed to say what the mother and the lawyer approve. I'm sure lots got cut out of there, to make everything look as perfect as possible. But just know, guys, that not everything is what it seems. And I'm rooting for her. I hope that things are as perfect as they seem. But I hope that, one day she can get out from under her mother. Because that everybody's always known that situation was weird. But anyways, happy Saturday. I love y'all. Go watch Shane Dawson's video and go watch Jacqueline Glen's video. I love y'all. I will talk to you tomorrow, and I'm still doing my video on gabapentin, but I've been doing a lot of research. I have like five or six pages worth of stuff for it. But I'm not a good writer. Like, I don't know how to put it into different categories and that kind of stuff, or different points. So I don't want that video to sound rambly like this one does. Anyways, I love y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.